Hello everyone. In this lecture, we'll be focusing on family, educational institutions, community and cultural and religious organizations. J.B. Nash says that recreation is a way of life. Recreation comprises of activities which are pleasant or enjoyable, gives direct satisfaction. All recreation must evolve from the voluntary choice of an individual. Group compulsion corrupts any form of recreational experience. Recreation has been socially accepted. Drinking and dancing may be recreation to one person, but it may be a taboo in certain communities and may not be acceptable to the people of that community. Society is the combination of individuals. These individuals have their various needs which they want to be satisfied. For this purpose, people behave in a customary way which is controlled by norms. Social institutions are a system of behavioral relationship patterns that are densely interwoven and enduring and function across an entire society. Social institutions are important structural components of the modern society that address one or more fundamental activity and specific functions. Without social institutions, modern societies could not exist. Societies consists of a range of institutions that play myriad specific roles in facilitating human social life, and which themselves are dependent upon one another for the performance of their respective functions. Family, education, religion, politics, and government and economy are the various parts of the social institution. Just as all the organs in the human body works in coordination with each other for perfect functioning and survival, similarly, every part of the social institution have to work in coordination with one another in perfect harmony for the social institution to not just survive, but to thrive and be at the top. Theoretically, the social institutions are simple but are quite complex in practice. The functions of social institutions with slight variations are universal. The structure of an institution can be understood by understanding the force of human relationships. It is these forces which keeps the functioning and the body itself normal, stabilized and maintains equilibrium. The structure helps the individual in shaping their behavior, reliable and predictable. The structure is both means and an end in itself. It can be defined as the mechanism to perform particular functions in time and space. Many forces in the modern society, however, tend to separate people into distinct and often hostile groups based on differences in their economic status, the social position, race, creed, nationality, education or cultural backgrounds. The factors which make people unique and special and gave the society reasons to celebrate are the very factors which some people for their own selfish gains were turned and used as factors to develop distrust among individuals of the same society. Recreation affords a common ground or platform where differences may be forgotten in the joy of participation or achievement. Recreation has become an important tool to achieve community solidarity among the social institutions. Let us now discuss recreation and family. The family is the smallest social institution with the unique function of producing and rearing the young. This is where the socialization process begins and hence plays an important part in shaping the personality of an individual. Family recreation involves the activities a family chooses to engage in during leisure time. It is very important for the elders in the family to provide as many opportunities of recreation to the children as well as themselves Depending on the amount of leisure time, a family can plan a diverse range of activities that may range from minor games at home to going out on a trekking or camping trip depending on the interests of the individuals. The more exposure a person gets right from the early days of his or her life, the more he or she is likely to be successful in his professional life as well. It should always be kept in mind that they become productive and secular members of the society who respect the views of others as well, and thus ultimately leading to a better quality of life for oneself and also for the betterment of his fellow human beings. When we look at the functions of a family, it shows that among many socialization of the child, cultural transmission or enculturation, most importantly providing the environment for personality development and the growth of self-concept in relation to others are the most important. If a family does not engage in recreation, which is a fundamental need of human beings and a major factor affecting personality development, it may lead to drastic consequences, and in such cases the individual may become incompetent and may face a lot of problems when the time actually comes that he has to play his part in the social structure and support himself and his family. As non-engagement in recreation may lead to an ill-balanced individual who may be lacking one or more of the skill set required to survive in this cutthroat competition that is surrounding us in this modern day. Next, we will be discussing about recreation and the educational institutions. Family being the first and the immediate of learning is followed by the educational institutions. These days, the educational institutions start as early at the preschool level, where organized form of play is used to educate the children and prepare them for the next level, that is the school, followed by colleges or universities. Education, as we know, is the form of learning in which the knowledge, skills and habits of a group of people are transformed through teaching, training or research. The educational institutions have a varied range of functions to be carried out in the process of educating a child to transform him into a fully integrated individual. Right from teaching basic cognitive skills like reading, writing and mathematics to making them law-abiding citizens contributing significantly to the national economy. Educational institutions act as an agent of change. Institutional recreation or school and college recreation is the type of recreation that is provided by the concerned authorities, boards or universities for the persons who are registered with it. There may be one or more committees responsible for recreation in the educational institutions for a specific type of recreational activity. They may be varied natures and students who want to engage in recreational activities, participate in an activity of one's own choice without compulsion in their leisure time. Since the goal of both recreation and education is the same, that is the development of one's personality to the optimum level, so that one may participate effectively in the privileges and responsibilities of the community, state and the nation. In education, we have a prescribed syllabus which needs to be adhered to, which is not the case when it comes to recreation. In recreation, a child is offered a variety of program areas from which the child has the liberty to choose and engage in during the free or leisure time. Depending on his needs at the given moment, the child may choose from art and craft, games and sports, hobbies, camping and other natural activities. The utmost development of the individual is sought by both education and recreation. But recreation affords immediate satisfaction, whereas education aims at a more distant goal. The component of compulsion is present in education, while it is lacking in recreation experiences. Many activities such as sports, music, drama or arts are common to both the programs. But in education, they represent areas in which skills, understanding and appreciation are to be acquired. In recreation programs, the activities serve primarily as a means of using and employing skills and interests that have already been acquired. Yet, educational growth is a part of every satisfying recreation experience. The training for worthy use of leisure was one of the 7 objectives of education. To achieve this objective, recreation provides opportunities to impart training and activities to use leisure time intelligently in a constructive manner. The early and continuous development of leisure attitude, habits, skills and knowledge leads towards developing an educated judgment about recreation. The authorized educational institutions has realized that recreational programs afford an excellent medium for carrying on the learning process and for achieving objectives of education as well. Recreation therefore plays an increasing role in the curriculum of formal education and in the extracurricular program of an institution. Let us now discuss recreation and community and cultural organizations. A community is a small or large social unit or a group of people who have something in common such as norms, religion, values or identity. Often, but not always, communities share a common sense of place that is situated in a given geographical area like a country, village, town or neighborhood. However, with a change in the lifestyle, we have seen a change in this pattern as well. A community may no longer comprise only of the native people of the land, but also people who have migrated and settled for jobs or education and other factors as well. The community today is a blend of numerous elements such as people of all ages, religion, color, caste, educational and cultural backgrounds, and many more. However, at times, the varied and different characteristics of the people tend to create friction among them. Consequently, it grows suspicion, distrust and dislike among fellow men, and lack of understanding and cooperation among neighbors and unity of interest. Cultural organizations or organizational culture is a system of shared assumptions, values and beliefs which governs how people behave in an organization. These shared values have a strong influence on the people in the organization and in this case also in the community and dictate how they dress, act and perform their jobs. Recreation opportunities, as mentioned earlier, can very well serve a child in developing his overall personality, but does it do the same for the youth and the adults of the community and an organization? They too need the joy of activity that is possible through a sound and adequate program of recreation. There are private agencies and private clubs that may cater to the people with the means and resources to afford them. But for a large percentage of the adults who are outside the influence of school, society or the community, the public bodies like municipalities, corporations and city councils are the only agencies to provide recreation. The school and its immediate environment are the resources that have to be put to use after the school hours for the same. Recreation plays a very pivotal role in bringing together the people of the community by providing them a common ground of participation, where all members of the community can express themselves, work in a cooperation with one another, and ultimately function as a team for that particular instant, as recreation aims at instant gratification. But in this case, the members of the community come in as units but walk out as neighbors with a sense of belonging to that geographical area or village or town, and in the current scenario we may rightly add the housing societies as well. Recreation and religious organizations. Religion is basically a system of beliefs and rituals that serves to bind people together through shared worship, thereby creating a social group. These beliefs and practices pertain to a sacred or supernatural realm that guides human behavior and at the same time gives meaning to life among a community of believers. Religious recreation is not a new concept but has been a part of the religious institutions since ages. Churches, for instance, have been actively involved in introducing the role of recreation in religious activities, which include activities as diverse as programs including basketball, softball, volleyball, tennis, golf, relay races, and dance. Other religious places also place great value to the various forms of art and craft, music, etc., which provides recreation and helps in the development of an individual involved in those activities. From all the above explanation, it is established beyond doubt that recreation is a vital organ in the diverse and complicated network of social institutions which help